Good morning, Providence Church. I'm Brett DeVries. I'm with the Providence Missions team, and I'm joined today by Jeff Kreidoff, who is helping out at People Helping People down in Pullman, and he's here to tell us some more about that. So, good morning, Jeff. Thank you for being here. And could you tell us how People Helping People came about in the first place?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to tell the People Helping People story. So it kind of all began back in 2005 when one of our board members was down in Pullman and bought some land off an auction. That then brought their family down to Pullman, and they discovered the need and the opportunity to serve and shine the light of Jesus down there. So in 2008, they had their first community picnic where they fed the community, tried to build some relationships, and people started hearing about that and wanted to become involved. So then by 2010, they had formed the nonprofit People Helping People of Pullman. Also in then 2010, our partner, Love in the Name of Christ, came down and got involved, as well as a group of people from Ridgepoint Community Church who started to meet for a prayer group and a Bible study group on what we can do, what they could do in the community. So after that, the number of people that started coming for prayer and for Bible study kept growing and growing, and the youth started growing with that. And so they would use an old pole barn that was dirty and greasy where the loader was kept for a sand pit that was being used nearby. And so out of that came a dream for a two-stall garage, a dedicated facility where they could pour into the lives of kids. In 2018, that dream became a reality with the grand opening of the Linking Center. The dream for a two-stall garage became a 13,000 square foot facility called the Linking Center that has a full-size gymnasium, 4 classrooms, a two-stall garage, a dining room, and a licensed commercial kitchen. So God gave way more than they could have ever asked or imagined. Then this year, in 2021, all those 3 sort of organizations, People Helping People, Love in the Name of Christ, and the group of people that originated the Bible study, all joined together as one under the umbrella of People Helping People. And now we look forward to, in the coming year, building a brand new food pantry to serve the community in that way as well. This past year, just through the food pantry that's there, 385 different families were served.
Wow. Jeff, what is your role at People Helping People?
Yeah, so you can call it whatever you want, chief servant, or my official title is executive director. So again, it's my responsibility to sort of lead and guide under the auspices of our board of directors to see us have the greatest impact possible in the community.
So what are some of your current ministries that are happening these days at People Helping People?
Yeah, so everything that People Helping People does, we try to accomplish 3 things. We try to show the love of Jesus. We try to help the community with a daily or a basic daily life living need. And then we try to equip people to reach their God-given potential. So everything we do has to try to accomplish those 3 things. We live into that by pouring into the youth. And specifically for the youth, through our facility, the Linking Center, we have an after-school program that has 50 to 60 kids coming every day that we bus from the school to our facility for an after-school program where food is provided for them. Many of them come from homes that don't have a regular meal in the evening. Help with their schoolwork is provided, and of course adults and care is provided. In addition, we have a summer program for the youth. We do Vacation Bible School. We have every Thursday night we have a youth ministry night for the elementary age, and on Sunday evenings we have a ministry night for the middle school and high school age groups. We send kids off to camps in the summer. We help kids, again, because the community is such a community filled with generational poverty. Every year we help kids with their school supplies, and at Christmas we actually help families and provide families and parents help with getting their children Christmas gifts. So those are just some of the things that we do for the youth. For the adults, of course, we have a food pantry that's opened a couple days a week. We offer help with utilities and housing and food stamps, and again, a lot of families right now in the winter months are suffering from frozen pipes and a lack of electricity in their house, and so we provide emergency firewood, and then we partner with other organizations like Meals on Wheels, and we offer GED classes. So we do a lot. Probably the thing that we just finished that we believe in a lot is we provide winter coats for families and children, and so this year we gave away 300 winter coats to people in the family who needed help in that capacity. And a couple of the last things that we do, but no less important, is we offer a Sunday worship service for the people who are kind of like exploring who is Jesus. So it's kind of like an entry level worship experience where it's safe to learn about Jesus and discover who Jesus is. And then of course we use our facility in many ways to just invite the community to connect and build relationships.
So Jeff, you mentioned a couple times generational poverty. Could you go a little more in detail on what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. So generational poverty is a lifestyle. It's a way of living that's cyclical. It just keeps going over and over and over. And to try to explain it, children are being raised in what they come to know and expect is living day to day, looking for food, hoping that the electricity doesn't get turned off, and these sort of things. That's just normal for them. No different than normal for me looks like a mom and dad who worked every day, who made sure there was a meal on the table, that I had a good education, right? The leap for them out of generational poverty and what they know to what I have is like the leap for me to jump from my life to that of being a billionaire. I don't know how to make that jump. I would have to have somebody that's lived that life and could help me figure out how to get there if that was my goal. No different than we have to come alongside of somebody living in generational poverty to help them understand how to live a life that looks like this. When kids are living in generational poverty and when families are living in generational poverty, they're not thinking about the education of their children. They're worried about whether or not there's going to be food on the table, and whether they're going to have heat in their house, or whether they're even going to have a place to live. So that's what becomes normal. That's what generational poverty is. It's just one generation after another because they're living out what they know is normal to them.
Are you able to share any stories or examples of how God is moving in people helping people?
Yeah, there's been so many amazing stories. It's hard to just pinpoint one, but one example would be that just happened this week is we had a young man come into our facility and he didn't really have a place to live, and he had hit rock bottom, and he was only 26 years old. And so one of our team took the time to meet with him and drive him to where he needed to go, provided a gas card for him to be able to put some gas in his car so that he could get to Allegan to get to work today. And so again, and that just provided an opportunity for us to show the love of Jesus. Mm-hmm. There's so many of our youth that come into our after school program are living in homes with generational poverty where the parents are just trying to survive. They're worried about, will I have heat in the house or food in the fridge, or will my electric be turned off? They're not thinking about, how are my kids' grades doing and is their homework getting done? And that's the role that we get to play to help those families and pour into those kids' lives and be that loving, caring adult. So that's just another way that we really try to reflect that love and make an impact. And of course, you know, we have many families that come in with no heat. And so even just the giving of winter coats provides an opportunity to say, here, we're here to help you, and Jesus loves you. And if you would ever love to know more, we would sure love to share. So those are just a few of the things that we've done recently to make a difference.
Yeah. Are you able to also share any impact the people helping people is having on your local community in Pullman?
Yeah, well, so this is an interesting one. So the Linking Center went up, this is like a community-wide, but the Linking Center went up in 2018. And of course, Pullman is known for being a community that deals with generational poverty and many addictions and even mental illness. And so because of that, the community is not always picked up and it doesn't always look really nice. But since the Linking Center has come in and sort of has raised the bar on what taking care of your property looks like and doing things with excellence, we've actually seen and we've had people share with us how they're seeing the whole community start to look different and make different decisions. And so that's sort of one thing that we actually see the community. It looks different today than it did 3 or 4 or even 10 years ago. But we've also had the really cool opportunity of doing community events at our facility, and we have literally had the whole community come out to for a craft show and for food and for community games with the kids, and it's just become a really neat bonding area and time. And that happens in June now every year, and it takes place on our property, and it's again a great opportunity for us to meet and greet and love the community.
Next question I have for you is, how can Providence support people helping people?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I love that question. One of the first things I would encourage is come on down for a visit. I would love to show you around and share the stories of what God's doing and where these community and family members live that we get to serve. I would encourage you, a way to help would be to share the story with your friends and family. Tell the story of what's happening in Pullman and how God is moving. That would be another big help to us. Obviously, we would love to see you get involved in volunteers and volunteer. And there's many ways to do that. And I often say, what do you love to do? What's your gifts? Because I bet we can find a place for you to plug in using those. And then, of course, last but not least, is it takes money to do ministry. So we always greatly appreciate donations and financial support, and of course prayer. You know, I'll end with prayer. It's God's ministry, and we want to continue to ask Him to lead and guide and protect us as we shine brightly for Him in the Pullman community.
What are some ways we can pray specifically for you and the ministry you're working on?
Yeah, I would lift up the families that we are serving, right? Like, it's always about the people that we're serving. So lift up those parents right now that are struggling and trying to figure out, how am I going to have enough food for my children today? How am I going to make sure that I can keep the electricity on? Pray also for the people, the volunteers and staff that are serving them, that we would always have a heart of grace and generosity to care well, so that we're serving out of the overflow of our heart. So again, I think those would be a couple of key ways to pray. We need more volunteers, so we would always welcome you to ask God to send us more workers, more laborers. So that'd be another great thing to pray for.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Thank you also, Providence, for supporting this ministry, and we would love to see more people plug into Providence missions team, either on the main team or connected to our missions partners such as Jeff Kreidoff at People Helping People in Pullman. If you're interested to learn more, talk to myself, talk to those on the missions team, talk to Jeff. We'd love to see you get connected. Thank you and have a great day.